That was a great. You can just open your mic and say, I remember this one talk.
I remember one from last summer that he started with music. So and I really like that about the presentation.
Was it a PowerPoint or a poster?
PowerPoint. It was, I don't know if I can say it, it was Will. He literally started with the Chicago Bulls songs because he just loved the Netflix series and he just wanted to start with that. So, but that was unique. So that's why I remember about that one.
So an impactful opening, no talking. It was just he was very excited. Yeah. All right, let me put this in presentation mode so you see what I'm seeing. Oh, is this in the way? Let me see if this can be reduced to. No, it can't be reduced. Sorry, guys. All right, so what doesn't work well in a presentation? You can also just put it in the chat or open your mic.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, not defining things or just assuming that everyone knows like acronyms, like what your program is or stuff that they use.
Yes. Yes. Have you noticed that we always say Environment for the Americas? We try to avoid EFTA. Not everybody knows that we call ourselves EFTA staff. So assuming acronyms that everybody knows your acronym is one of those. Yes, that is a great one. What else? What doesn't work well?
I feel like not explaining why the work matters or like contextualizing it is sometimes ineffective because otherwise like everyone's doing different things, so it's hard to understand why this is important.
Exactly. That's one of them. You have to put a little bit of passion into your work. Jeremiah says reading off the slides. If you're just winging it at your presentation, we can all tell. And reading word from word straight from your paper, Christy says, is just awful, awful. We've all had to sit through a presentation like that and we don't like it. So please don't be that person. We will have 10 to 12 minutes for our presentations. I won't be presenting your presentation. And of course, we want the components of a presentation there. We want the agenda, we want the content, and we will provide you with a template of your slides. We're working on that. Chuyu, our graphic designer, is working on it. And actually she did already. So I have the example. So because it's an oral presentation, don't do this. The only reason I left this in was because for those of you that want to see the recording again, to see what was said and read it back, but we want you to present something with a logical sequence that has an introduction, and that introduction should start with where you worked. Now, I can't stress enough that no, Sochi, if you're doing the oral, you won't be doing the poster unless you can ask Daniela if you can put your poster, but I think we have a limited set of tripods for the posters. All right, so where you worked. I was going to tell you that, you know, we're science with those in mosaics, and those in LHIP might be more cultural, but those maps of where you worked, the site map, photos of that entrance are always good with the sign. Where you were. I remember that Sasha Escamilla's presentation last year. She was in the Grand Canyon. She put the sign and then she put a beautiful picture of the Grand Canyon, and she just opened with this is where I was working. This was my site, and it was the Grand Canyon. And of course, all of you are working in beautiful sites. So just make sure that everybody captures that. Why they needed you for this project. What were you doing there? What was the focus of the project that you made it so important and contributed so much to it? Because after the introduction, you will go back to the history of the park, how you did the project. Oh my gosh, this is really in the way, but I hope I'm not leaving anything out. History of the work you're doing, how did you do it, and what results did you find? this, without the subtitles, you can definitely do a slide with the pictures, a diagram. The less the text, the better you'll be, because your PowerPoint will be your visual aid. Who's the presentation, really? You are. You are the presentation. The slides back there are just your visual aid. So you don't want to have text on the slides. You want to talk about the history of the work. You can present what has been done in the past. You want to present the methods. Always a good flow chart, diagram, or even pictures on what you were doing, and the results. How do you present results? Never text, right? Graphs, figures, photos. All right. So you need to practice this presentation, because you have a limited time to present all of your body, and then you can conclude your presentation with the summary of the project. Future needs are very important. You want to make sure that they know that what you contributed will have a long-lasting effect, and you can come back if they need you there to come back and work on it in the future also. And you can provide recommendations, because you are now an expert in your field, in what you worked on. So you can, based on my experience, these are my recommendations. Close social trails for a moment on July 4th or something like that, because you've been working on that project, you know the impact, and you are capable of giving those recommendations to NPS. And who knows, like I said, these leadership staff and people come to the presentations, they don't really announce themselves. They're just in there, and they might just take you up on it. And always include acknowledgements. Those people that helped you get where you are in NPS, in the internship. You can say in general, like Environment for the Americas. And of course, don't leave out that mentor, because we call them supervisors and then / mentors for a reason. They're supervisors to us. They're the ones who are supervising you, but they're mentors to you. Not really supervisors, right? They're mentoring you, they're guiding you. Sometimes your primary or secondary supervisor is not the person that's working with you, right, Kaylee? Sometimes it's somebody else that's assigned. Oh, Paige is going to be helping Kaylee. So now that's the person that will have direct contact with you for 3 months. So you want to recognize and acknowledge those people that have guided you and helped you be there in the meeting. All right. And of course, somebody said in the beginning, please define technical terms, provide an appropriate amount of information. Of course, let me provide an example. Sometimes we have our visual aid, right? And in my, I'm going to provide my case. There's a bird on it, and I'll probably go to the species name, the Latin name, and then I'll think about, I don't know the Latin name. I knew it. What was it? And I'll say something while I think about it. It's unconscious, and your brain goes there. But we try to avoid the situation. How do we avoid doing this? Practicing our presentation. So it's 15 years into teaching, and I practice all my class courses. Why? Because I know this happens. It's our nervous system. So we want to make sure that you practice your presentation so that you have your script in your mind and you know what you're going to say. And you present that clear message of what you did, where you did it, how you did it, what were your results, and what do you think is going to happen now? What are your recommendations? So keep it to the point. Presentation, where should you look at? Just feel comfortable looking at everybody in the room. If you don't, pick a person who makes you feel safe. Look at that person, and that's it. How long should you talk? You can put a timer. Sometimes I help out in the corner of the room. I have a timer, and if you want me to, I'll help you out with the time. If you are going over your time, I will help you even if you don't want me to, because I'll go, time is up, it's over. The speed of your talk will depend on you. I know personalities, right? Sometimes we speak very fast because we're nervous. Sometimes we know this by heart, and you can go slow because you know what you're going to say next. All right, so this is just so you know that you can present a PowerPoint. Sometimes there's no PowerPoint, a poster, and audio is becoming very, very popular. You know about TED Talks? That's your audio presentation right there. Please keep the audience engaged with your PowerPoint. You can do a great presentation with 5 or 6 slides. You don't have to have 50, but you can't do a presentation without coherence. Everybody loves a story, so stick to that. Be mindful of the font. We're recommending 34. 24, I think, is a little bit more appropriate if it's a long statement. If you're doing the assertive, look up assertive PowerPoints, because this research has shown that if you just put that one sentence with your clear message and then the images, that will be more memorable than just bullet points. Make sure that you have your results in a graph, clearly labeled, everything within axes and titles, that they're clear, not blurry, that your visuals are providing the context of your presentation. Like I said, you are in beautiful areas, very beautiful. So you want to make sure that we feel like we're there with that photograph. The bullet points, like I said, I do not like this. What do you like about this slide and what you would improve? Let's see. I feel bad for, what time is it? We're almost at the end of our time. So what don't you like about this slide? What could you improve if you were working on it? This is what PowerPoint provides as a model for PowerPoints.
Personally, pictures are too small, and I think that a lot of the bullet points could just be said out loud. So
Exactly. Please don't put all the text in one slide. I know you guys are smart, brilliant, and that I don't have to emphasize this too much, but I'm not only saying it for you. Sometimes when you go to your mentor and you show it to them, they'll go, but that's just one sentence. Are you sure you have all the information you need? And you have to let them know, yes, right now, neurology studies have shown that people cannot listen and read at the same time. It's just really hard, right? You're either listening to that person or you're reading the subtitles. So it's very hard, and it's processed in different and in the same part of the brain. So it's very different to very difficult to compartmentalize what you're hearing and what you're reading. Tell the story with fewer words, more images. Okay, that is it for us. This is for posters. This is what Chanel is presenting to PLC presenters. Do you have any questions about your presentations? Let me really quick try and get out of here to see if I have any questions here in the chat. No, I don't have any questions.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So I know that you're gonna send to us a template about the PowerPoint presentation, but are we allowed to present a story map just as a substitution of the of the slides? Because right now in the National Park Service, they're using like a lot story maps, and I don't know if it's allowed to this. I'm just asking. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that, but just to know.
Yes, you can. You can. What we've recommended in the past is please open up with your program slide so you can introduce yourself, and then you can go into your story map.
I have a question. For the presentations, do we have to bring our own computers, or like, are we gonna log into somewhere, or how's that gonna work?
No. You send the presentations to us, those are due on July. Let me check out the calendar here. July, I can't even work around this. 28, I think it was Thursday. Wednesday, the 27th was the last day for you to submit your PowerPoint presentation, because we have to upload it to a deck that will be sent to the Department of the Interior. Since you can't go into the department with a flash drive, you all took cybersecurity, right, to get your PIV card. You know how they don't let you put a flash drive that's not been approved? That's the same thing here. So we bring our computers, IP addresses are in a database, and our computers will be the one presenting your presentation. So we will need to take the presentation with us to DC, and you won't need it until the day you present. So you will share your presentation with us through your program drive, Google Drive. Okay, Leslie?
I have a question.
Yes.
I had a question that if like our parents and our friends can't make our presentations, is our presentation going to be recorded, or could we have somebody record it so that we could send it out to our families?
Oh my gosh, I can do you better than that. We're gonna live stream it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, through our Facebook page. Is Ed here?
Okay.
Let me see if Ed is here. He can talk more about live streaming it. Oh, Ed is not here, but Ed's the one that's gonna do it.
I also have a question.
Mhm.
So I'm based in Salem Maritime, and
Mhm.
it has like 12 historical sites, and I'm in Saugus Ironworks. So it is like a multi areas that I'm in. So I'm wondering, how am I supposed to present like where I'm stationed when it's so big?
That's your call.
Okay.
It is your call. It is your call. It depends on the narrative of your presentation. It's your narrative. You can definitely angle it the way you want.
Thank you.
And all DHAs are required to present their PowerPoint to their park administration. I know that the supervisor will see your presentation before sending it in. And then it's a really good exercise to present it to the staff. When you present it to the staff, they'll say, oh, but you didn't include an image of this, or hey, that's actually confidential. That can't go out yet. We haven't really discussed this with the public. So it's really good if you set a date to practice with your staff, with your crew, natural resources management crew. Present it to them first. They'll give you pointers, recommendations, and then you come back, work on your slides, and then send them in. And it's always a good exercise. I'm telling you, everybody that's done it said, you know, I got a lot of great feedback from my staff. Of course, they're at the park with you. They know what needs to go out and what you would look better presenting. Sochi, I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Just a quick question. I was wondering if this could be shared with us because it had a lot of pointers. I know you're going to share a template, but I don't know. I like resources. Sorry.
I can share this one with you, and I have another one. Let me share that link with you guys also.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can have it here. It's a link about this is the other presentation. But this, I don't know if you can see it here, the link for the assertive, yeah, it's assertion evidence. This is a photograph, so I might not be able to. So it's a short video on how to build your talks on messages and not topics. So you just want to do assertions and feel comfortable with the message that you're giving out on why you did your project, why it was important to do this project, and why it's important that the park continues this project. So these messages that you're going to be giving out in your talk are really yourself, selling yourself, saying, I'm available to work for any department of the Interior Agency. So, and this is what I've already contributed. So just make sure that your presentation, and yeah, I will share more information on that. Let's get this out of here. Can't see you. I'll have to break out the rooms right now because Vivian, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Vivian, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
go back to.
I can go ahead. I'm going to stop the recording real quick.
Yes.